Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you, Minister, and to your departmental officials for joining us yet again. Minister, last year the Deputy Minister confirmed that PSPC has identified a number of instances, and I'm quoting now, a number of instances of individual subcontractors fraudulently billing the Government of Canada, and that the department is, again quoting, seeking restitution to the Crown. Can you confirm whether PSPC is still pursuing restitution agreements with those suppliers?
À ma connaissance, oui. Il y a encore un dossier qui est actif, mais je laisserai peut-être la sous-ministre répondre.
Yes, since that time, there was approximately $4.5 million that we had to recover. We've recovered $4.1 million of it. The remainder, we are now in court actions to follow up with.
Just to confirm that I heard you correctly, you said there was $4.5 million that you needed to recover, and you've recovered $4.1 million?
That's correct. $400,000 we are pursuing through court actions.
Okay, thank you. How many suppliers did that involve?
Thank you for the question. As you'll recall, this was about subcontractors, so the number of suppliers, I think, and I'll have to confirm momentarily, there was a number of suppliers, a number of departments. We discovered it with the new tools that we have in terms of doing some data mining and looking at payments. And then I think that we had discovered that there was 9 cases where we were identifying this, and the subs were involved, where I think about 3 subcontractors that were overbilling across several contracts.
Provide that documentation. I'll repeat that because my mic just came on. Would you be able to provide that documentation to the committee?
We certainly can. We have provided, I think, the list that was updated, but we can see what we can do to provide it for you. I think as well that there's some updated information that's publicly available on our website in terms of our integrity work.
Can you also confirm whether any of these suppliers that were involved in the fraudulent billing cases continue to hold active government contracts today? I'm sorry, would you like me to repeat that?
Yes, please, because as you know, Catherine is the ADM responsible for oversight, so she'll have the up-to-date information. If you mind, thank you.
Thank you. Can you confirm whether any of the suppliers involved in these fraudulent billing cases continue to hold active government contracts today?
So I need to clarify one aspect before answering your question. We need to remember that the fraudulent overbilling occur by individual subcontractor. So those individual subcontractor, their security clearance has been revoked, and they can no longer work on those contracts. They have been hired by multiple prime contractors, and sometimes those prime contractors were not aware of the overbilling, but they accepted to reimburse us because the responsibility was to them under their contract with us.
So am I to understand that these subcontractors could be subcontracted by suppliers that actually have security clearances, and there would be no way for PSPC to catch that?
I'm not sure if I understood correctly your question.
My understanding is that those subcontractors that have been identified no longer have any capacity to work for the Government of Canada.
Very much. So I guess I think a more important question is, why does PSPC negotiate restitution with suppliers who have been found to have engaged in fraudulent billing instead of issuing direct demands for repayment or referring the cases for prosecution?
So we actually use all of those tools, Minister, and I think that the key here is that, if you'll recall, suppliers are maybe unaware. They were not involved in this overbilling. They have hired someone that is involved in overbilling. So having that capacity to be able to come and identify what percentage of restitution is thought, but we do use the whole suite depending on the various cases that are in front of us.
Final question. I think I still have time for one. Given that the House of Commons directed the government to retrieve fraudulent funds related to ArriveCan, can you tell us what is the status on the recollection of fraudulent funds from ArriveCan?
Okay, thank you for that question. Yes, we're aware of the House motion. There are two elements to that House motion. One was around the to seek restitution or recovery of funds for some of the GC contracts in the last 10 years, and the second piece was to pass a ban to render GC ineligible. On the first element, that is based on individual departments' view of whether or not they've received.
I'm sorry, we are past our time. Maybe you can get back to the committee with a written response.
This new organization. Answer. I have a quick question for Mr. Lightbound. Given that you voted against recouping money from GC Strategies for the Arrive scam, how can Canadians be assured that you're getting the best value for their hard-earned taxpayer dollars, sir?
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur le Président. Quand vous regardez les actions que notre gouvernement a prises,
When you look at the actions that the government has taken to implement all of the Auditor General's recommendations from ArriveCan, I think we can be sure that all the rules are in place to have, better transparency, better application of the rules. We looked at the Office of the Integrity of Suppliers. That's going to be overseeing contracts for the next 7 years, and I think that should reassure any Canadians listening today.
Thank you very much, Chair. And I really only have a couple of questions left, one for both of the ministers. Mr. Lightbound, in answer to my colleague's question in regards to how you voted in the House when the Conservatives called for the money that was defrauded from Canadians by ArriveCan to be returned. You voted against that motion, and in your response to my colleague, you said that PSPC is adopting all the AG recommendations, and as such, there's rules to make sure there's better transparency. Are you suggesting that because there will be better rules for transparency, you will then be more committed to ensuring that Canadians will get value for their money?
non, c'est un engagement de tout temps, là.
No, this is an ongoing commitment to ensuring that our procurement gets the best value for Canadians and that process is competitive and transparent. What I'm saying is that over time, as you know, there were a number of reports, and over time we implemented recommendations not just from the Auditor General but from the Ombudsman as well, which allowed us to improve our data, have more transparency, and ensure that our clients...
Because this isn't about improving data. This is about how you voted in the House when parliamentarians were called on to support a motion to recoup money that had been taken from Canadians by GC Strategies. And you voted against that. Have you some newfound commitment to ensuring that there will be value for money spent by the Government of Canada?
Madame Bloch, vous êtes une parlementaire. Vous savez très bien que
Ms. Bloch, you're an experienced parliamentarian, and you know that motions in the House are often used to play partisan games. But actions speak louder than words. In this case, we pursued GC Strategies as well as other suppliers where there was fraudulent activity. So we sued them rather, and we did get back a lot of the money. We are holding people responsible.
Because the House compelled you to. That's why.
Là, était bien avant la motion dont vous faites état. Ces litiges-là
And now
prédatent
That was well before the motion you're referring to.